What's up, gang? Got a request from somebody yesterday. We want to work on traps, neck and shoulders. That's what we're going to do. We are going to start on the floor, but first let me tell you what we might need. We could use a softball or like a baseball or a lacrosse ball. For one of the things we're gonna do today, we're probably gonna need something like this, like a yoga block or like a couple pretty thick, like hardcover books. Okay? We are gonna start with something I really, really love. It's called a controlled articular rotation, or we call them CARs at the Sports Pod, right? And the whole point of them, there's three main challenges. Number one, we wanna make the biggest range of motion possible. So for this one, we're using our neck. Okay, making the biggest range of motion possible. Number two, we want to go pretty slow. Maybe not as slow as possible. It could take a really, really long time. But we want to really take our time with this. We want to really ease into it and try and make a smooth, slow motion all the way throughout the range of motion. You're going to find out it's going to be pretty difficult in some of the ranges to make it smooth. It might get a little catchy or it might jump from one spot to another. We'll talk more about that later. Number three, we want to try and isolate the motion. So when we're talking about our cervical spine, the primary thing we want to worry about is associated neck motion or associated shoulder motion with our neck. So our shoulder should stay put, and our thoracic spine, our upper back should stay where it is, right? Okay, so let's get started. Number one, we're going to take our chin, we're going to tuck it down to our chest. From there, we're gonna rotate our chin to our right shoulder. You can see I kind of tried to hike up my shoulder to bring my shoulder to my chin. Don't do that. After that, we come back to center. Right ear comes to right shoulder. We're trying to avoid this, right? And we're gonna rotate around. Back to center. Whenever we get back to center in a controller articular rotation, we freeze and we go in the opposite direction. So we're going to rotate back to center and then rotate around in the opposite direction. Rotate. Big range of motion here. Rotate. And around. You go ahead and keep doing that. One of the great things about a controller articular rotation is it's helping us learn our full range of motion, right? We're trying to teach ourselves how far of a range of motion we can actually do, we can control actively instead of passively. So a passive stretch would be like me putting my hand on top of my head and stretching laterally like that. Here we're just using our neck muscles to rotate all the way around back to center. We're also kind of training our neck muscles here. And we're not using any weights. We're using our end range of motion. So where the range of motion stops, we're using that as resistance instead of a weight or a band or anything like that. And it is important to have strong neck muscles. Okay? A couple of muscles we're going to focus on today are our traps and our scalenes. The reason we want to work on these is because they're easily overworked, especially when we're stressed. We're a little bit stressed right now, right? Our shoulders are kind of high, locked up. Our neck is tense all day, and we're overworking these little tiny, well, our trap is a very big muscle, right? But our little tiny neck muscles on the side of our neck can easily get overworked. So this is a great way to train those muscles using a low load and load resistance, right? Another big advantage to doing these CARs is that we're increasing blood flow to all the structures of our neck, all the structures that we're moving, right? Blood brings nutrients to the joint. It also is going to help move the lymph around our neck. We have a lot of lymph nodes in our neck. It's good for immunity. It's good for our immune system, and it's also beneficial to get nutrients to areas that don't have good blood flow, like those avascular areas, right? So let's finish the rotation, the car that we're on. And let's get to smashing, right? Okay. So we wanted the whole point of this video is somebody had some tight traps, some like knotted up traps. So these are our traps right here. This is actually our upper trap. Our traps actually connect to our skull, which is why we were doing the control articular rotation to start this. Connect into our skull, run laterally out here into our shoulder blade, like this bump right here in the back of our shoulder. It's our shoulder blade, or our scapula, the doctor word that we use, right? And it actually runs from there all the way down into our lumbar spine, okay? But we're gonna be focusing on the upper traps today, because like I said, we're very nervous, we're very tense, like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna be locked inside for another 2 weeks after this? Who knows, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the ball, we're gonna put it right in the top of our trap right here, and we're gonna smash into it. How are we gonna do that? Let me show you. We're gonna find a doorway, just like this, okay? Now I have like a net out here to keep the bugs out. So I'm just gonna fold that over. And I'm gonna take the ball and press it into that upper trap, okay? Like we always do with smashing, we wanna find that one tender spot. Usually it's pretty easy to find that one trigger point in our upper trap, right? So we're gonna find that trigger point, and here's where everyone gets it wrong. Everyone always, I show this so much in the clinic, everyone does it wrong at first. So pay very close attention, because I'm not there to tell you not to do it. We're gonna dig into the wall. I'm pushing with my legs to get as much tension into that ball as I can. And I'm gonna bring my ear to my shoulder. What I'm not gonna do is rotate. We're not rotating, okay? That's not really what the trap does. We're gonna laterally flex our neck, bringing our left ear to our left shoulder, and then back to center. And we're just gonna continue doing that right here. And what that's doing is it's stretching that trap over the ball. Yikes. And it is pretty tender for me. So I'm glad we're doing this. Like we said earlier, the more pain that we can withstand here, the better. Ow. And I am currently quarantined right now. I'm outside of my patio, and the pollen in Texas is so bad that I don't think it is safe for me to be outside as it is. So every time I walk outside, I start sneezing, my nose starts running. It feels like I got a little bit of the COVID, but I don't. At least I hope I don't. So if this is your first time watching the video, the reason we're taking so much time in these positions is because we're trying to make changes to the muscle. We're trying to make fascial changes. We're trying to make chemical changes. And that requires two things, time and tension. Okay? Let's switch sides. And same thing, now the opposite ear goes to the opposite shoulder because we're stretching that other trap. I'm driving with my legs here into the wall.
time and tension, right? We're trying, if we find that the tension's easy to find, right? The tension's in the ball and in my lateral movement of my neck. And the time that we find is best is about 2 minutes at least. We want to be really, really patient. There's nothing wrong with smashing or stretching for less than 2 minutes. You know, we can see some tonal changes to the muscle. But we're really not going to have the remodeling effect of the fascia that we're looking for. That's going to cause long-term benefits from the work that we're putting in. Oof. And keep smashing into that left trap. Good. Ugh. Now if we have posterior neck and like upper back pain, the traps are kind of like one of the first things we want to look at. We want to look at the trap, we want to look at the levator scap. We're not going to smash into that today. Maybe for another time. If we get tired, like our neck gets tired from all this motion, what we can do is take our opposite hand and just pull my ear down to my shoulder and hold that. And that's a big stretch. I'm actually feeling it kind of in the back of my ear right here. It's another one of those referred trigger point patterns that we talk about so much. Good job, and let's relax. Okay, so now we're gonna go over one of my favorite muscles to smash because it causes so many problems, our scalenes, okay? Our scalenes are 3 cords of muscle that run from our lateral cervical spine, okay, into our upper ribs, okay? If you take your finger and you push your trap back and you push down, there's like kind of like a little bony, it's got a little bit of a give to it, but there's like definitely like a bone right there, right? It's not your clavicle, it's not your scapula, it's actually your first rib. Okay, so some of those scalenes attach into that first rib, and then others attach just under that into the second rib. Scalenes are designed as a accessory breathing muscle, cervical spine stabilizer, but we use them a lot with shoulder movement incorrectly, and it can cause some real issues. So let's learn how to smash into them, and I'll talk a little bit more of the scalenes. Okay? So like I said, we're gonna use a yoga block. If you got like broad shoulders, you might wanna prop the yoga block up like this, okay? For other people, smaller shoulders, this is fine too, okay? So I'm gonna put the block like this, I'm gonna put the ball on top, and I'm gonna put it right in the lateral side of my neck. If we run my finger just like this, you'll run over like 3 cords of muscle. Those are actually, those are your scalenes right there. That's what we want to target. And we want to try and get that as low on our neck as we can. And the same thing, we want to laterally flex our head. If we want, we can do a little bit of no motion here, but we're not moving our chin more than an inch, okay? I like to kind of support my head like this because holding this position for too long, I notice my opposite side, my opposite scalenes will fatigue and actually get a little bit sore from holding big giant head up for too long. So like I said, these scalenes are really just meant for like stabilization and breathing. An accessory breathing muscle. Our primary breathing muscle should be our diaphragm, right? Our diaphragm sits right at the bottom of our rib cage. Whenever we're breathing with our diaphragm, we should feel our belly rise and fall, right? But a lot of the times, people kind of forget how to use your diaphragm. They breathe with their accessory muscles, like their scalenes and their rib muscles. So they have kind of like a chest breather pattern. And those muscles are really just meant for like high levels of exercise. You're not really supposed to use those muscles regularly. They're not meant to be used several times throughout the day. So you can see how they could be easily overworked. Especially these scalenes are so small, they're so tiny. They're not really meant to be used like a lot of people use them. Ouch. And what a lot of you might be noticing is that, hey, this is like giving me a headache. That is called what we refer to as, it's a trigger point referral pattern, but a lot of people don't realize that their headaches actually originate from their neck. It's called the cervicogenic, so cervical means neck, genic, like Genesis, the beginning. So the neck is causing a headache. And headaches are tricky. If you're on a scalene and it's giving you a little bit of a headache, usually like on this side of your head right here is where where it will refer to. If you can tolerate that headache and it's not going to stick around with you after we get done smashing our scalenes, we're totally okay with that if you can tolerate it. If you cannot tolerate it, just ease off of it. Ease off the pressure a little bit. Okay, let's switch sides. Okay. And the reason that we want to get low on our neck is because the scalenes, for whatever reason, typically have trigger points on the lower part of the scalene. And those trigger points can refer pain. Very common for it to refer pain down the side of our arm, especially with CrossFitters. And it can, a lot of the times, even refer pain down the side of our arm into our fingers even. So if you ever have any upper extremity pain, your practitioner, your healthcare practitioner, should always check your neck first, primarily these scalenes. They're so important because something called your brachial plexus, which is like this branch of nerves, this big like trunk of nerves, actually runs in between these little tiny scalene muscles. So you can see how if the scalene muscles get tight, they can irritate those nerves, and those nerves supply all of the nerves to your whole upper arm or your whole arm. How that could really cause problems down the road. So really pay attention to your scalenes. Don't neglect them. And definitely go see a chiropractor, go see a PT who knows their stuff and knows how to release these scalenes, also how to work on them, how to stretch them, how to smash into them. Outside of breathing, these scalenes can get overworked just like the traps. So stay right there. We're going to be there for another minute, and I'm going to hop up and I'm going to show y'all For example, when we were moving our neck earlier, right? Saw my shoulder pop up like this. That's more trap. But what we see a lot with CrossFitters is that when they go overhead with, say, like a dumbbell snatch, they'll go overhead with dumbbell snatch, they'll kind of go like this. And that's because they have poor disassociation, meaning they don't know how to move their shoulder without moving their neck, okay? When you add high intensity fatigue to the situation, it compounds the issue. It puts even more strain on these lateral scalene muscles on the side of our neck that really aren't supposed to be active in this motion. Overworks them, irritates the brachial plexus, can cause headaches. It's just a muscle we don't want to work like that. So that's why we'll go over in the future how to train your body to move your shoulder without moving your neck. In the meantime, we really want to focus on eliminating that when we are working out. So if you're a coach and you see somebody go overhead and their head always cocks to the side, it's very predictable that if they stick with CrossFit, they stick with fitness, they're gonna have the lateral shoulder pain caused from the scalenes getting overworked. So we do want to coach that out of the movements if we can catch it early and just say, hey, your neck's kind of going to the side when you go overhead. Try to avoid that. It can cause a little bit of shoulder discomfort down the road for you. Okay, and if you're still smashing, you can hop on up. Thanks for playing along for me today. This is my third day doing this. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been getting a lot of good feedback. Keep giving me feedback. Leave me comments. Share this with your friends, please, so we can keep this going. I'm doing it for free. So the only reason I'm doing it is because it's helping some people out who need it, and some people are really, really enjoying it. So leave a comment, like and subscribe to me if you're watching this on YouTube. Share it with your friends on Facebook. Anything you can to show this to your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. So thanks. We did a little bit of neck, traps, and scalenes today. And that's just the tip of the iceberg with the shoulders. If you got something that's kind of bothering you, let me know in the comments, and we'll work on that tomorrow. That's about it. Have a good one, team.